up, guys? Is it still worth building a Mitsubishi Eclipse or Eagle Talon in 2025? I got asked this question by a car guy that is into Hondas a couple days ago, and I was really thinking about it. I was just like, you know what, like, the time I got into DSMs was back in 2012, and this was a time where Mitsubishi Eclipses and Eagle Talons were so common. You would find them literally everywhere at the junkyards, everywhere for sale. They were super cheap, and they were just overlooked by many people. I think they had their golden era, you know, back in the early 2000s when they came out. You know, based off what people would tell me is, you know, they were king of the street, and this is just because they were turbo all-wheel drive and they had the 4G63. So obviously, with what was available during those time periods, you know, it was pretty much the best bang for your buck type of car you can buy, right? So with time, especially now in 2025, I think if you're gonna be someone that built a DSM now, it's just because you appreciate the car for what it is, not because of what it can do. So I believe there are many other cars out there that you can build for the same price and get much more out of. You could even go to the dealership, buy yourself a B58 BMW or Supra and freaking smoke. You know, a lot of cars on the road. But I think the owners for these cars nowadays, it just has to be someone that just appreciates the car for the looks, the body lines, the 4G63 obviously, or they just want to get hands-on with a project car. So would I build one personally? I don't see myself doing that. The only way I could own another DSM was if I had a 2GB black Eagle Talon, and that's because I used to have one way back in the day. It was a non-turbo 420A, and that thing was just a nightmare because it had so many wiring issues and never ran correctly. But if I was to own another one, it would have to be an all-wheel drive, you know, Eagle Talon. Just think these cars have like a cult-like following. It's pretty much the same people and same community at this point. We do have new people come here and there, but it really just comes down to your budget and how much you're willing to spend on this car. So when you go to places like, for example, like the DSM shootout, where you see like the straight up race cars, I don't think a lot of people realize that these cars have tens of thousands, if not $100,000 worth of money invested into them just to make them run like that. And at the end of the day, the car is not going to appreciate. So mods won't appreciate the value of the car. You know, I think a clean, you know, 2G Eclipse GSX that's well built and that looks nice, you know, would fit, you know, somewhere around the 20s, right? So like I said, I personally, I don't see myself building one. I think the reason I built my DSM was because it was my first car. It was like my dream project car for the longest time. I got the non-turbo because I didn't know there was a GSX and GST trim, so I got the non-turbo. And you know, I was young and I wanted to get into the car scene and I wanted to learn how to build cars, so that's why I ended up swapping an Evo motor in it, right? So it just really comes down to, you know, budgets, the passion you have for the car. I don't see myself doing that now just based off my life circumstances. I just have too many projects going on, and it's just, there's really no point. I already feel like my Eclipse gave me the DSM experience to, you know, the fullest, and I appreciate that car. You know, all that car really needs is like a paint job, and it's perfect. So I really would like to hear your guys' opinions in the comment section. Like, what do you, have you left the DSM scene? Would you build another one? Where do you see the DSM community going, you know, in the future? Like, are these, to me, they're already classics, they're future classics for sure, but where do you see them 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now when, you know, they're just even rarer than what they are now, right?